show today. Peter Windsor, Baba Windsor, who's a great one of my favorite F1 pundits, says that it's very admirable how Lando Norris immediately apologized profusely to the team and profusely to Oscar Pitt. And he said that it may hurt him as a driver, but he's a great human being. A great human being. But he said that, he was being real, he wasn't making fun of him. He's such a great human being. But he said, you know what? If that had been Verstappen or George Russell, afterwards they wouldn't have apologized immediately. They would have found a way to blame the other person. Oh, Piastri didn't give me space. He said that's what champions do. Piastri didn't give me enough space. Piastri knows I'm faster than him. He said that's what a champion would have done. So he said that he wants Norris to continue being a good boy, but Norris needs to be a good boy, but he needs to be more stand up for himself and more killer. Let me give you an example. I could be a good boy. I could say, Kunle, we're teammates, and I'm sorry, it's my fault. But even as I'm driving, I say, God forgive me, but I'm going to take Kunle out now. So in other words, you can be a nice guy. You can be a nice guy, and you can say, well, I feel so bad about blocking Kunle. But as long as you block him, you're good. So I don't care whether Norris is a good guy or not. He needs to become bad on the track, then afterwards go to the priest and do confession. I'm serious. What do you think, Afolabi?
I agree with you. There's an air of cold-blooded decision-making under pressure that Lando Norris does not have at all. F1 champions consistently make smart and emotional decisions under pressure. He doesn't have that. Verstappen is a prime example. He's rarely flustered. Even in chaotic races, that ice in the veins narrative.
Yeah, he only gets flustered when he knows he lost. Then he'll ram you or something like that.
Yes, he has a mentality that helps him to thrive in high-stakes situations, which Norris doesn't have. You know, anytime Norris tries to do it, he makes mistakes. So yeah. I don't totally agree with Peter Windsor on that. I think you need that kind of mentality.
Yeah, but Windsor did say, he said it tonight. And here's another thing. Any other driver, whether if it had been Albon or Verstappen or Russell, that first time that they're about to pass, when they have a chance to pass, because he had a chance to pass Piastri before when they were now racing side to side, they would have made their move long before this guy decided to make a move into a gap that wasn't there. So in other words, he's not decisive because he could have passed Piastri, or even if he couldn't have passed Piastri and they had crashed, he should have been more decisive when he knew he was closing in on him. What do you think, Mr. Johnny?
Oh man, what I saw Lando Norris was about to release the beast in him. You know, it was about to come out.
Yeah,
but then that crash kind of took him back in. He was actually about to show that he's not a nice guy. But then he showed that he's a nice guy.
I think he got too eager. So, and this is another problem that Norris has. I'm not dissing him. So, like you said, he was about to release the beast. But remember, I keep saying it, Afolabi, Lando Norris hasn't practiced. He doesn't prepare for races, so he doesn't have good racecraft. So a lot of what he does on the track is at that moment. So he's not proactive. He doesn't think about these situations ahead of time.
He's just off the cuff. He's off the cuff.
So, if you're a boxer, you have to know what you have to, like Floyd Mayweather. He knows for every move you make, he's already practiced in his mind what his counter move is. So I don't think Lando Norris spends enough time on craft. He has skill, but not craft. He hasn't thought about all these things way ahead of time. Verstappen sees everything. See how Verstappen saw George Russell? He told everybody, George Russell is brake testing me. You know, it took them 6 hours to give George Russell that title yesterday because the stewards were thinking about taking it away from him. It's because Verstappen's thinking about everything. You know, they had to wait 6 hours before they gave because Verstappen saw George Russell brake testing him, and he said during the safety car, and Russell was trying to force Verstappen to get angry so that Verstappen would lose his license. Let me tell you, George Russell is now becoming a bastard. Go ahead. What were you going to say? That was wrong what George Russell did. It was wrong.
Very wrong. Very bad.
It's wrong, but I guess this is going to continue into the next race. This is not going to stop anytime soon.
Yeah, but Verstappen kept his cool, though. He kept his cool. So go ahead. What do you think, Kule?
Have your racing cars, if you're driving in traffic in Oshodi, it's always everybody else's fault. Even as a traffic lawyer, they will tell you that if you are in a car accident, do not admit to anything. You should have been shouting at the team that why is Piastri not letting me through? What's wrong with this? The reason he crashed was out of frustration. He lacks a... He was just frustrated because every lap he was trying to take him, and he couldn't quite...
desperation, not frustration, desperation. Go ahead,
They locked the door on him between the 60th and 64th lap. They locked the door on him literally 4 times in a row. and you could see the frustration. And he didn't have the aggression. He should have spoken to the team leaders. I said, get up, because that's, I told you that Verstappen is like a downfall driver. You know, oh, come on for road, come on for road. Anybody else's fault.
Even Liam Lawson. Remember when Liam Lawson insulted Checo? He said, "Motherfucker, get out of my way." Yeah.
Norris has got this driving Miss Daisy type of Notting Hill, Hugh Grant type of, hey, dear,
Love Actually. Actually, I love you, Mr. Love Actually.
Do you mind if you let me through? Because
sorry, Black, can I pass you, please? You like Mr. Bean or somebody?
Yeah, something like that. A little horn. Oh yes, I'm in Monte Carlo. Would you let me pass? Because I think he needs to just come out for a road.
Come out for a road.
I'm gonna ram him. You should tell him I'm gonna ram him. Don't be doing this. He's doing excuse me. He needs to be aggressive. And the driver for the
locking the door. Please don't put it.
The driver was like, hell no, take your own balls.
Okay.
Go after.
All right. So we're almost done. So any last thoughts, Mr. Johnny? Any last thoughts before we get out of here? Yeah. Is Mr. Johnny there? Oh, the connections are so bad today. Mr. Johnny.
Johnny,
He's actually muted. He's muted.
Antonelli.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy for Antonelli. First podium. Oh yeah. So he's got that first hair on his chest right now. That small hair that's landing on. That first goatee, so to say it as And
he outraged Piastri. He defended himself against Piastri. But you know what? He learned from the master though. He tried to pass Verstappen. Verstappen defended him easily. Did you see that? He should have been able to beat Verstappen actually. But Verstappen's strategy, once again, undercutting him. Verstappen knows when to pit. And you know what Verstappen did? It scared me. I saw Antonelli about to pass Verstappen. Then Verstappen disappeared. I said, what Verstappen? He was pitting. But what he did was he didn't let Antonelli know he's pitting. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it looks weird. Because Antonelli may have jammed his brakes when that happened and hurt himself. You get my point? So, Antonelli did well. And we have to say quickly, we predicted it on our show. Remember, Mr. Johnny? Remember I predicted that Mercedes will do well because of their traction, which helps on this track with chicanes and stuff like that. And also because the weather was cold. I looked at the Austria track. I predict that Verstappen or Piastri will win in Austria. That track is high speed. It doesn't have it has medium speed corners, but it doesn't have slow speed corners, which wear your tires out. So that's my prediction for that race. Last thoughts, Falabi, before we go.
Yeah, basically, this race just showed us that McLaren is not running away with it. There's still ample opportunity for people to catch up. And there's still a lot of pace in our Red Bull car, as well as the Mercedes car as well. So as we're getting getting into the colder temperature and the faster tracks like Silverstone and Austria, I think the ground will become more level, basically.
Yeah. And also Ferrari and Mercedes are doing better, and this is going to scramble things, and then Piastri and Norris racing each other. So I still think Verstappen has a chance of winning the championship. But what else was I going to say? I think that's about... Yes, I still think he has a chance because this is going to be a competitive season, and we still have about 2/3 of the season left. All right. Kunle, last thought. Oh, no, Mr. Johnny.
Sorry. One more thing. Sorry. If Russell wins this one, he'll be actually in contention as well. If Russell comes in Austria, so
he has a chance. And I have a feeling that if Mercedes is supposed to have the fastest car next year, I have a feeling that next year it might be Russell versus Verstappen. I think that's what FIA wants. I think they're building this up. That's going to be a crazy champ. We all know that Verstappen is faster than Russell, but Russell, to me right now, is the second fastest driver in the world. Let's not forget also Alonso. You give Alonso the right car, he'll do anything. He came P7 last week. Alonso has not lost anything. It's just that car is not good. And also next year, Aston Martin and Mercedes will be the fastest cars next year. Because of the so don't sleep on Alonso. People think he's old. No, he's just on a rubber.
Especially because of the power units. Because of the power units.
So I still believe. So next year might be one of the greatest seasons. In fact, come out this year, finish out, give it to Josh for next year. All right, Kunle, take us out with any last thoughts and everything. Thank you, guys.
Yes,
Beautiful show. Yeah.
The race in Canada was exciting. It's becoming now more of a 3-horse race. Nobody knows if you pick the right winner now. It does. You're picking by guessing. 3 or even 4 if Russell gets into it. I think this is what Formula One wants. They want to see lots of people vying for the title. It makes it more exciting and more watchable. And we're looking forward to the next race. And from myself, Mustafa, Johnny, and Afolabi, we bid you farewell, and we'll see you on the next one.
I do. And Kule, can you do a 10, 15-minute show in an hour, the political show that we do? Yeah.
Yeah.
1 hour. Hey, Kule, did you see when you were laughing when I said, who's your daddy to Israel?
I know. You're laughing amongst all the
This shit is getting crazy, man. All right, we'll talk later, guys. Have a good one. Okay.